just wanna be free with my people to prosper and hold it down. Don't you sit and wait, contemplating on a revolution. The time is now. I just wanna be free. 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 Can't you see? I just wanna be free.
Okay. Another episode of the Things I Wish I Knew About Money podcast. I'm your host, Kamille Smith. And guess what? Guess what? I am on time. Whenever you guys ever see me actually start on time and everything. However, the next thing is I got some good news. I had an amazing long weekend last week to a point where my legs are suffering and things. However, the first reason is because talk to me nice. Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice. You see my plaque, you see my recognition. I was able to attend by Black's anniversary and receive my People's Choice Award. So I'm feeling myself just a little bit. Hold on, let me. So big up myself and big up y'all for being the reason why I was able to win. As much as I harassed y'all, you still held it down, and especially the people that didn't get constant messages from me, you just did it without me talking to you. Pat yourself on the back. Y'all are the real MVPs. Okay. And also man, it went from what? Aquarius season to Pisces season. So big up all the folks that are born in February. Almost forgot we're not in March yet. However, this is going to be a very expensive year for me because me and my friends are all turning a milestone. Me not saying nothing right now. If you don't know, um, that's on you. But yeah, so I'm anticipating that I am going to have a deep sinking fun that supports everything that's going on this year. So yeah, just and hello everyone. So yeah, the long weekend was nice. So I just wanted to say like welcome back to everyone. And because Family Day was the same time as like Love Weekend, Valentine's Day, I wanted to push it back to talk about it this week. So hopefully you guys can rock with me and stuff and be okay with that because I'm excited about this. But the one thing I want to say is also it is tax season. It's nearly tax season, so I am trying to jump ahead and um make myself be really up to the time, down to the hour. So if you got an email from me already, thank you. Start the questionnaire because that's the first step. And yes, I'm talking to you. You know, you that you don't want to do the questionnaire. Yes, you still have to do the questionnaire regardless. I'm giving some people bypass as in AKA my grandma because I already know that information. But anyone else? No, you have to do the rules. There is rules to this. Okay? But that starts February 23rd, and I'm actually surprised how fast the tax season is coming into play. But I digress. I'm gonna do a one quick commercial break to remind you guys about the tax season, and then we're gonna start this bad boy. Alrighty then. All right, let's go. Let's do this one.
You're watching Things I Wish I Knew About Money with Kamille Smith. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
That one's really quick, so I'm gonna do one more.
Imagine turning financial chaos into calm. Meet Alex. Alex is a young professional buried in bills and receipts. They're overwhelmed, unsure where to start. But then, light bulb moment. Alex discovers FitnanceIQ. With just a few clicks, Alex is setting up a personalized budget thanks to FitnanceIQ's user-friendly tools. It's like having a financial coach right at their fingertips. Fast forward a few weeks, and Alex is breezing through bill payments, watching their savings grow, and even planning for the future. No more stress, no more chaos, just simple steps leading to big results. Alex now shops with confidence, knowing every dollar's accounted for. FitnanceIQ didn't just help organize Alex's finances, it gave them peace of mind. Ready to take control of your finances? Visit FitnanceIQ today and start your journey to financial freedom. FitnanceIQ. Simple steps, big results.
We are back. So one thing that I enjoyed last week was during a love weekend, I went to I was given a lot of love, first of all, especially with the plaque, but I also was singing my heart out. I realize I'm a hopeless romantic, even though people don't believe me when I say that, but I am a shy, hopeless romantic. So and I finally have the poll up. I have the poll up. I have the poll up like at the beginning of the the segment. So I'm so proud of myself. So yeah, let's on. I don't have my glasses today. I really felt nice and sweet up also during the week, but I think my glasses broke, so I'm kind of sad about that. But I digress. So ideally, because we're in the third week of February, and wow, has this week been going by quick, fast. Yikes. That just means, the tax season is gonna be just as fast and all that good stuff. And I'm happy about that. Um, but like I said, Family Day was on the 16th. And that day is actually meant to celebrate connection, support and togetherness. But for many, it would be a lie if I didn't say that Family Day also brings up complicated feelings, right? And because family isn't always simple, I just wanted to I just wanted to have this discussion. I feel like I've had this discussion before, but I feel like I want to go in more depth with it. So bear with me, rock with me, because even though family isn't always simple and love isn't always easy, support isn't always balanced. I think this week would be ideal to talk about what a lot of folks carry quietly, and that's family, money, and the guilt of setting boundaries. I'm going to say this. I am not talking about my family. I don't want anyone to be like, look how come you put in our business out in the streets and things. I am ideally not talking about my family, so don't you worry. But if you can relate with anything that I discuss about, my heart goes to you because Um, it's not easy in things. Many of us were believed to be like the ATM or even like the family's safety net. And normally you would see that with the parents and stuff, and then or I feel it for those sandwich individuals where they have their children and their older parents that they're taking care of, so they feel like they are the safety net. And my heart goes out to you because the way that it's structured, it's not entirely fair, but depending on like the household that you were raised in, whether you're Black, Caribbean, immigrant, or a tight knit community, we were always taught family comes first, right? You don't turn your back on your people, and when you make it, you lift everyone up. And a part of that I can relate with is just I want you guys to come on the journey while I'm doing it together. Right? I want you to be on this journey together. So like many of us were raised to believe that family is a safety net, of course, right? But somewhere along the line that safety net turned into one person and becomes a family's ATM. Again, me not chat about myself, but if you could relate, by all means, right? Um, what's another thing? Even though I talked about like family comes first, we lift everyone when we make it. We lift everyone else, everyone. These values are absolutely beautiful, right? They are. They're shout out to y'all. But I think no one actually teaches us when it happens, the time when helping actually starts to hurt. And I'm going to stay in the lane of financially. I'm not going to go into mentally, spiritually, physically. I don't want to go down that road. I just wanted to strictly be finance because it's still Black History Month, and it's still we want to still have that love and semi positive, even though this is a tricky conversation. But I feel like we would all it'd be a disservice not to mention it during this time, especially like thing. You're what up, Nanu? So I just want individuals to know, like, even when it's helping starts hurting, I want you to be mindful about that. And also think when supporting becomes support becomes like an expectation, and when love becomes obligation. And we're gonna unpack a lot today. We're gonna be unpacking a lot. Like ideally, we're gonna be talking about like family, financial pressure. I've experienced that. That one I can admit that I've experienced that. The guilt of saying no. Yep, yep, yep. Um, generational money wow, I said almost said curses. There's no curses. Generational money cycles, right? Rising cost and shared debt. Raising money wisely, I'll say, for each um generation, because I still think you can still teach an old dog new tricks, even though they say they can't. But you can if you want it, right? And then also protecting your peace without abandoning your people. And this is a conversation I feel like I've had before, but I feel like this would be more in depth, with compassion, honesty, and clarity. So the first part, the first part is being that. Hopefully, I can get these all at once. Being the family ATM syndrome, or the safety net, or insurance. And again, this is not me, but if you can relate, by all means. And remember, the poll is up. I see everyone. Thank you for attending so early in the evening. Somewhere along the way, um, many of us became the family ATM. Mm-mm-mm. And when I said like the safety net, it works when everyone holding it down, right? But there's always that one person that carries it alone. It's very annoying. That I can attest when it comes to caregiving. It's highly annoying. So this is the same concept when you think about it financially, right? Um when one person's carrying it alone, they stop being a safety net and they just start being like the family ATM. So it's like, "Oh, you got this? Cool, cool, cool." So I wanted to be mindful. Most times it's not because that person volunteered. Sometimes it's because they are the most responsible one or reliable one. Um and they're the one who always just able to figure it out. Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out. Right? Um and with that person, the request doesn't come as questions, it comes as expectations. And I know there's someone up in the chat where, they always talk about people's expectations or their chest is high, or entitlement, however you want to say it. Um, there's just I'll say expectations. I'll be more polite and saying there's more expectations. Like there's the individual that co-signs on loans. Big up my brother for I don't even think it was a cosign, actually. He this was back in grade 8 or whatever, and he had a phone and he was about to switch to um monthly payments. And mine was like pay as you go. I don't think that's the definition of a cosign. But I ran up that bill. Golly, Bob. And my bad. That was the only time I would say that I selfishly ran it up and I didn't care. However, when my mom co-signed my car, at that point in time, this is when, I've been working and I'm reliable. She was okay co-signing it because she knew how responsible I was. And sometimes that doesn't really happen with folks, so you have to be mindful about co-signing loans, right? Some people there's some scenarios where you're gonna be covering the rent or utilities, you're paying for funerals or emergencies, you're sending money back home. And I think that's what we consider the black tax, or supporting siblings and or extended family, whether it's in-laws and stuff. And I know there's some folks that can relate with that. Um, I want to make this very, very clear. There's nothing wrong with helping family. That is definitely not the problem. It's the expectations without boundaries. That's when it becomes a problem, right? So I want you to take a pause for a moment. Think about it for a second. Ask yourself honestly and truly: do they appreciate the help or do they expect it? And that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes, because sometimes you're doing things out of the goodness of your heart, and if you say no, oh, oh, don't say no when they're expecting you to help. Golly, then them really sure how to make you feel guilty. And remember, I'm not talking about financially, because as a caregiver, this kind of aligns with it sometimes. But trust me and believe, I'm not the family ATM. I've strived to not be that person, because at the same time I need to pour into my cup first before I'm able to pour into others. That is me, right? However, I have heard stories. Again, this is no one in particular that I'm thinking about, but I have had like certain clients that they're like, "Hey, yeah, I've been paying for my parents' credit cards. I've paid for my siblings' car payments." Hey, hey, do you need another sibling? Just kidding. Or paying for cousins' tuition. And like, while they this this is what makes it worse. While they're doing all these ATM things, they have no savings, no emergency fund, and no peace at all. I think that is the set sign of a disaster because they're not even thriving. Um, they're like literally surviving for everyone else. Because if something happens to them, everyone's shit out of luck. Excuse my French, right? But that's really concerning when you're the family ATM and you don't even have a safety net for yourself. Because you think if something happened to you, uh, they're gonna be giving you grace and stuff. No, they don't care. Send me the money or pay for my stuff. Trust me on that one, right? But I do want to give some advice, some guidance to parents. This is no particular parent. I am not throwing shots at baby boomers, Gen X, millennials. I can't I mean, Gen Zs technically could be parents, but I am not judging. We listen and we don't judge around here, right? But I do want to speak to the parents for a minute, just for a second. Just for a second. Ideally supporting your children is natural because that is like, nurturing and everything. But funding every mistake prevents them from learning resilience, right? You can help with guidance, but not permanent rescue. Um, I think the only time I was literally rescued um with my family was when I literally had my back against my wall. Like I was robbed. There is no other way to handle it, right? Or manage it by myself. Like the heck? So I every day when I think about that time when I was stranded, literally, that was a saving grace. But that is not what I'm like. If your adult child is having trouble every moment and I think it's that saying the helicopter parent, don't do that. Because eventually they're not gonna learn for themselves and we want our kids to learn. But I'm not saying don't help them, but guidance. Guidance is always ideal other than permanent rescuing, right? To the adult children, yes, I'm talking to you. You. I'm an adult children too. Your success does not obligate you to carry everyone else. I know. You get overwhelmed, you feel guilty that, you're that person that has to hold it down for everyone. You're allowed to build stability um before becoming a safety net. So once you get your shit together, cool. Do you, boo? Do you, dude? But please don't feel guilty or feel obligated to be saving everyone when you haven't even saved yourself, right? And individually to families, support should be shared and not assigned to the most responsible person. One person cannot be the solution to the systematic financial struggle. It's just not going to work. I feel like that I can attest. And yes, there's going to be, and you remember how I mentioned the different types of money personality? That goes in families too, right? That I spoke about last week. Um but you have to work together to be able to manage things. It just doesn't make sense relying on one person. And if you do rely on only one person and that person pops down, passes away, the way you guys are going to be screwed. Golly Bob. And also, speaking of screwed, this whole week I did not have my lovely water bottle. I did forget it somewhere, and I fell off tremendously on the water intake this week because I didn't have my water bottle. See, when you don't have the proper tools to be successful, this is what happens. You slack and stuff. But I'm back at it. I have it, so I'm excited. Um And I fell off on reading too, but I will catch up after this. I'm just gonna be sitting down and reading and stuff. However, um, yeah, like I really want the family ATM or the person that's the insurance and stuff. I really want you to be mindful about it because you have to be able to be stable enough in your life to be able to help others. And you know what? I understand because when we talk about like family debt or like cultural pressure, I feel like this is an unspoken pressure that lingers in like the Black, Caribbean immigrants, tight knitted communities, and it's like we can't say anything because we don't want to dishonor our ancestors, our elders, and all this stuff. But sometimes, as much as safety net is seen as love, that safety net, especially when it has no boundaries, it becomes actually financially exhausting, or exhausting in any sense when you think about holistically. But again, I'm not going to go into that. I want to respect everyone's culture and everything, and I'm not throwing shade at anyone, I promise. But most times, certain cultures, or most of our cultures that are like similar, when you make it, you lift everyone. Um, shucks, no, sorry, I already said that one. Don't forget where you came from is one of the things I've actually heard, or like you'd hear it. Actually, it's not that you hear it ideally, it's stuck in your mind ideally. It's like, don't forget where you came from, especially if you started off in a struggle, ideally, but you're able to overcome. And I think that happens to like a lot of like immigrants that come here. That is like they put a sticky note on their wall to remember where they came from. Family helps family is another phrase, and sometimes you'll hear many people say like, "You're the one who made it, so you better treat us good," right? And suddenly that success feels less like freedom, and it's more like a responsibility or sort of a burden, respectfully, right? I have another story where, a young professional is paying student loans. And don't worry, I'm gonna talk about this damn OSAP or student loans. It's ridiculous what the article I seen. So young professional, imagine this: they're paying student loans, rent, and the way that the grocery prices or grocery cost is rising, um is wild, but there's still an expectation for them to send money home. I will tell you this one. Respectfully, I never understood that black tax with sending money home when you, I'm not gonna say struggling per se, but you don't have enough money, or what's the word, discretionary money, where you could just like send that home. If you had like a budget for that, kudos, then that would make sense. But I found like, and I'm only speaking based on what I've seen and heard, sending money back home and you not even striving it, I feel like was counterproductive because that ATM thing, the same thing where I said you have no savings, you have no emergency fund, and the expectations of sending money home was kind of wild to me when I heard it. But I do understand the cultural thing. Um, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Um, it's not that you're wealthy, but it's in their mind, you are rich. I remember seeing this reel where it was like, oh, what people think you are, what people back home think you're doing in foreign, and it's like a money tree. Trust me, trust and believe, there ain't no money tree around here. And if there was, golly, then for sure I would be doing way more. Like, I'm reading this book, and the thing that I wrote down what I would do if I had absolutely, what is the word? Absolutely, I don't want to say financial freedom because I feel like that is the wrong phrase. Oops. Ross, and I just read this part. I guess it is. Absolute financial freedom. So this is the point where if you're at, you have that number where you could just, you have nothing to worry about. You could say F you at your work, or clients that are pissing you off. You'd be able to have a certain amount, and part of that number for me was sending money back home, because actually at a point where I'm not struggling. Me not struggle. Me thriving. And stuff. But like with this family debt aspect, I want to speak to the parents respectfully. Respectfully. Um you're allowed to say, I want to help, but I need to secure my foundation first. You are absolutely allowed to say that. Because it's not abandonment, it's sustainability. And you at least need an emergency fund, or some money set aside for if shit hits a fan and you're not able to do anything. The money that you should, it'll be like eek, right? To the adult children them, shucks, that was for us. Sorry. Parents, the pride that you have for your children's success should not become dependency. Encourage independence and not obligations. That's to the parents. Um, we're not your retirement fund. I will say it. I will say it. We're not your retirement fund. I get it. I get it. But it's not fair to be the retirement fund, for your kids to be your retirement fund. Um, but I am going to try to find ways to help with that part. But like I said, to the adult children, you are allowed to say, I want to help, but I have to secure my foundation first. Because at the end of the day, you'll be screwed if you don't, right? And to the families, like overall for families, I really want you guys to financial transparency often no, sorry, financial transparency reduces resentment, especially if you know it reduces resentment. Does it solve it completely? Probably not. Even if you tell someone, yo, I ain't got it until this time, they're not gonna care. They want what they want, and they're not gonna care. Make it work. You better do what you gotta do to make it work. Um, but having honest conversations will prevent silent suffering. And I believe that. Like, and for a person like moi that likes to suffer in silence without isolation, sometimes having honest conversation will work, but it depends on who you're talking to. Depends who you're talking to. Trust me on that one, right? Basically, your support should not come at the cost of your own stability. You cannot pour from an empty account. You can't. You can't. It just doesn't make sense, right? And when it doesn't make sense, right? You shouldn't feel any way or any guilt to say no. No. Say with me. No. even me, it's hard to say, like, and I guess what did my friend say the other day? The annoyance comes from love, and I don't know why we feel guilty saying no, and I don't know if it's like being manipulated or just feeling that tight anxiety of like, yo, um I have to help. I can't say no. So I want to talk about this guilt. I really do want to talk about this guilt because it's annoying, because no one actually prepares you for the emotional backlash when you said I can't help this time. Yo! And it's not talk about finances, or maybe it could be. The times when I said I wasn't able to, my flabber was gasted. It was like, "Oh, you've changed. Oh, I can't depend on anybody. Money has gotten to your head." I'm not saying I've heard all of these, but trust me, I've heard some of them. Family should help family, and yo, all of a sudden you're the villain. You are the villain in those folks' eyes, and it's wild to be. To me, it's wild, right? Because you are treated like the villain just for protecting your future. And it's not that, it's like boundaries reveal who actually respects you and relied on your silence. Cause so sometimes it feels good to walk over people, right? Um and you know, it's like the trauma that you think about back in the day, because they just make you feel guilty for saying no. And it's wild. Trust me, would you stop being the family ATM? Ooh, when you make people feel like you remove that family net, look to see how they react. Even if you're drowning while you're holding it, look to see how they react, right? I want you to actually think about it. Do they love you, or the access they have to you? Think about that. Sometimes it's just really overwhelming when your boundary is being tested, or you feel like you're punishing someone because of your boundary. So this is for you, parents. I am not directing it to baby boomers, Gen X, millennials, Gen Zs. I'm just to the parents. allow your allow your children to say no without guilt. Please allow them to say no without guilt. Boundaries today build stability tomorrow, and you're still teaching them things while they're, either if they're an adult or a teen. And I'm not going to say to the adults, sorry, I'm not going to say to the teens to say no, but like the adult children, allow them to say no sometimes. For my adult people, them, guilt is not proof you're wrong. Don't ever think that you're wrong because of the guilt. It's just proof that you're breaking patterns, and it's okay to break patterns. I It gives me so much joy to hear when folks are breaking generational money cycles that are not healthy. Like when I speak to like the ladies in Black Moms Connection, it gives me so much joy when I hear that they're like, "Oh yeah, and I'm able to teach my kid this and stuff, and I was able to teach my my dad to, or mom to, learn something new about investing or savings and stuff." It gives me a lot of joy. I even when I was golly, when I was doing the stock market challenge with the kids, and I could see the parents engaging with it, and that was like one of the things, was to have conversations Don't worry, we'll talk about this later on. That's how you're able to really break those cycles, is having those healthy conversations. And look at Ja. Look at this is that's the next thing that I want to talk about, is breaking those generational cycles that are unhealthy. Right? I would say many of us are first generation cycle breakers. So the ones that are first to budget intentionally, to invest, to say no to debt. Some of us, not all of us. Prioritize mental health. Some of us were the first to finish post secondary school or get a PhD. Big up my friends. You know who you are. PhD, masters. I am so proud of all my friends and family that have done higher learning. You deserve it. You deserve that praise and everything. Just like me deserve the praise too with this. Oh, I bust my ass for this. So we're breaking cycles, right? We're breaking cycles. So as much as we are the first generation to break certain cycles, it's gonna make our family uncomfortable. I understand, but it's okay. Dust yourself and try again, right? Your boundaries will really highlight the patterns they normalize, and then we want to break those and be able to be more stabilized, right? Stability is the thing. And I'm gonna say, you're not betraying your family by choosing stability. You're not you're literally building a foundation that you never had, or you never experienced, or you experienced it very late. You're like, I like this stability, I want to keep it, and I want to trickle it down or trickle it up to everyone in my family, right? And this is to the parents, I this is all from love, right? Breaking cycles, especially unhealthy money habits that we have, it may look less giving today. It may, but it creates more stability for future generations. And I know there's a saying that older generations say, and I'm not knocking out, oh, you can't bring it with you to the grave, da da da. I gotta spend every cent I can, da da. No, you have future generations that can build on that. Um, I rather us think that way, and thinking collectively that each generation can do better each and every time, right? And to the adult children, you're not betraying your family by choosing financial health. I said it. You're building a foundation, like I mentioned before, and just take it as that, right? Healing financial patterns requires collective awareness, and not individual sacrifice. You will burn out if that's the case, right? So I really want us to just be mindful about that, right? And even with us breaking, the other way to break these generational money cycles is to teach the kids them. That's why I'm really happy. I can't wait to do it again, even though some of the kids whooped my ass. Yo, some of the kids whooped my ass in the portfolio. I wish I could show the portfolio and stuff, but they whooped my ass, man. um and big up my friend's son. He won second place. You better be doing what I taught you, eh? Just kidding. That's tough love I give too. It's tough love. Or even, okay, this is golly shit. I got excited. I got excited. So the one way that we can raise money smart kids, or financially fit kids, is this first start is the RESP, eh? The RESP is the sure way of teaching them that, because Everyone that has a child in the last 5 years or so, please get a RESP for your kids. A registered education savings plan. Please, please, please. There is a reason why I'm stressing over this. I am going to show the article soon. I'm actually stressed thinking about it. I need us to be mindful about that. And if you haven't started with your kids that are in their teens, I was gonna curse. Frigging start, okay? Friggin' start. Even if it's $25, please start. $25 a month to every 2 weeks. Please, please. Golly. Right? Um, we want the next generation to have a um healthier relationship with money. Hands down. Like my mom always said this is, and I'm gonna say it respectfully because my mama bear. So and I'm representing her tonight. Today. Yeah. Because this is her season 2, Pisces season, and next month is going to be something. Pray for me. Pray for me. I don't know how I'm going to be, but I know I'm going to be very busy. So hopefully I'm able to manage. But my mom taught me that sometimes it's really hard to teach an old dog new tricks. So it's better to go for the kids and teach them personal finance. Like she really loved when I was speaking to kids and stuff. Whether it was little girls, little boys, or young ladies, young men. Um, she really strived for me to do that. But I still want to cater to everyone, but like even teaching, the best feeling was teaching the kids about stocks and they got the hang of it. And then not only were they getting the hang of it, when their parents are watching them in the background and them understand like, wait, are you saying this stock market challenge that they're doing, this is aligns with the real market? And then we're like, yeah, and they're like, oh. And this is what makes it like so important is teaching your kids how to have a healthier relationship with money, because it will not only trickle down or trickle up to you, but will trickle down like to everyone in the family. So this is like one thing that I literally would strive for, like whether it's you start to get books. I secretly want to have like a kids book about personal finance and stuff. I am going to do it eventually. I was thinking of doing it with someone else, but I should just get the shit done. Right? Um cuz it's so important. Um when you, especially if you want your kids to grow into a financially healthy, becoming a financially healthy adult, um, they must see boundaries modeled and not preached. They also need to have a structure or have those discussions. Like I always loved when big up Andre, because Andre was like one of the persons that showed me. Andre would have like a piggy bank for his kid son Nathan, and or when he actually showed him like him purchasing a stock for him, it gave me so much joy. And I would love to see that more in our community, with teaching children that helping is a choice, not an obligation. Helping does not equal sacrificing stability. Giving is a sorry Savings are protection. These are some things you want to teach the kids. Savings is our protection and not selfishness. Saying no is a financial skill. Listen, the one thing I should have said no when I went to university was that stinking credit card from MBNA. Man, oh man, right? Also, compassion includes self care. Um, so this is something I would like for you guys to teach them is teach your children we can help sometimes, but we don't put ourselves in danger to do it. That is the grand sign of picking up your paper. Right? And it's concerning because I think for the longest time I've seen it experience that was something like, yo, you're supposed to, even if your cup is halfway full or halfway empty, no, keep pouring, pour into that other person. But sometimes you're just screwing yourself over and you're gonna get burnt out, exhausted, and all that great stuff. I mean, it's not a great stuff, right? So to the parents, your children learn more from what you tolerate than what you teach. So model boundaries. The adult children them, even if you weren't taught boundaries, you can model them for the next generation. So sometimes, and I've heard this a lot when I do webinars, sometimes you didn't know better. You didn't know they didn't know anything, and that is kind of no fault to them, but it's now you're at the moment where you have enough you see this thing here? You have enough information on here to do better. And I'm especially talking to the adult children. I don't give a I'm trying not to swear. Listen, as a millennial, you should be able to do better because you have this. Gen Zs are killing us with certain things because they like, have that opportunity to be more tech savvy than us millennials, but us millennials need to do better as well because we still have information here to do better. Gen X, I feel like the same, but because the millennials are a little bit younger, you guys have no excuse. We can kick ass to the Gen Zs, or we can learn from the Gen Zs and stuff. And I have to have that conversation that we can learn from the Gen Zs. So use this damn thing. Don't use it to doom scroll and get lost in the sauce with foolishness. I don't care what's happening with these celebrities that are sleeping with whoever no, I don't care. Start educating yourself about things that actually matter. Golly. And healthier families teach responsibilities, not dependence. Okay? And the reason why I'm getting so amped up is because I'm now thinking about this stupid ass article and I cannot believe my eyes. And I'm going to share my screen because, oh, shucks. Press something. Press the wrong thing. OMG. Listen. I must be under a rug. No, actually, I'm not under a rug. I glimpsed this issue, but I didn't fully pay attention. And when I did, what the rat's ass? Ontario, what's good? What's good? Who are we? Who do we have to blame? Where do we have to vote to change this shit back? Yes, I'm gonna curse because I cannot believe that grants used to be 85%, didn't have to pay them back. And now you want to bring it down to 25%? Are you crazy? What? I can't believe my eyes. Like, I'm actually really annoyed with this. If it's you, sir, box it on. So basically, what? College and universities, there's a new funding lifting a 7-year tuition fee freeze and cutting back on the amount. See, this is why there's always an issue when they do I'm trying not to curse. When they do a friggin' freeze on something, it's always gonna come to bite us back in the ass. And this is very annoying. Most people, I will say I don't know about the other provinces, but most times when we had OSAP and we didn't have to pay all that damn money back, it took me 2011 to or 2012 to 2015 or 16 was how long it took me to pay my OSAP. I know folks that are going to take decades to frigging pay back their OSAP, especially if if you're a serial higher learner or higher education. Gah, yo, this is this is absolutely ridiculous. This actually pisses me off. But like, look at this. The OSAP grant is decreasing from 85% to 25%. So, example, um if a student is eligible for a maximum OSAP grant is paying 10,000 for tuition and previously eligible to get 85 hundred in grants where they wouldn't have to pay that back. So s- now it's 2,500. Imagine this, guys, having to pay back 7,500 instead of 1,500. That's wild. I'm actually really disappointed, and this is going to, like, I can see that there's going to be more people that's not going to be going to university or college. They'll be like, nope, I'll figure a way out because it's ridiculous. This is why I was actually saying before to the parents that RESP, please, we need to help our kids. Or if even when they start working and stuff, sign them up for their RSP so they'll have their RESP and RRSP, because with the RSP you at least are able to frigging sorry, I'm just so annoyed with this. You're able to use some of that money, or you're able to borrow that money to do education. I'm highly annoyed with this. Like, yeah, this is absolutely going to discourage people to get education, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Times are hard, and I feel bad for the folks that live in the states, because the states. I feel like what I heard that states student loans are more high, or sorry, I know English, are higher than mortgage sometimes. So sometimes it alternates whether it's the number one debt for people. Golly. So nah, man. This oh man, this OSAP thing really pissed me off. So like, I want you guys to be like more in tune with this, especially like parents. Like, yo, shit's rising. Ooh, I can remember the time when I literally had disagreement with my dad. He was like, "Oh, you should be able to afford a $900,000 mortgage." And I was like, in what world do you think that's the case? And then I had to like show him facts. I'm like, "Yo, you bought your house when it was 200,000. If we're thinking about how in the last 20 years how inflation has increased and stuff, that equivalent would not be the same. The equivalent would have at least have to be 400,000 or something. That's not fair. Like, so I want the parents, most parents, some parents, to be mindful about these discussions that you have. The way that things were, cost of living for you guys back in the day is not the same now. Like, it's not. So, however, even though I'm cheesed about this, I do want to I do want to build a healthier family money system, right? I do think about these things. I was striving to do this as well, because I think having a family safety net, which is shared, planned, sustainable, is way better than one person sacrificing, right? Um, like, certain things I'd want to hear is, I can't help financially, but I can help you. I can help you plan, or I'm focusing on stabilizing my finances right now. The best one this is a statement I had to say one time. I'm not in the position to take that on. And it's say what you want to say, but if you can't handle it, don't kill yourself to do it because right? Boundaries shouldn't end relationship. They should redefine them and stuff. But but I do have a solution. Solution number 1. Have a regular conversation about money. Solution number 1. Um Long gone those days where like, no, this is adult business, adult conversations. No, talk about money with your kids, your teens. Let them learn about money. This is why you have a piggy bank. This is when I give you that allowance, if you get allowance. I was fortunate enough. If you don't, hey, I'm not shaming you. Ooh, I hope I can find it. Ooh, wait. There was a conversation I've seen, like it was allowance based on dividends. And I thought it was genius. Like they had money set aside for their kid. So like let's say, that Christmas money, the birthday money that they get, put that in investing account and then just have those discussions. Um have those discussions on why you're putting it in there. Um, I feel like a healthy family dynamic is when you talk about money before emergencies happen, before expectations build, and when before resentment grows. These are the things you want to have. You want to be proactive than reactive. You should not be reactive. There should be a way to prevent these things, and I think that goes for a lot of freaking things. Stop being reactive. Stop reacting after the fact. Be proactive. Once you're proactive, things get better, right? um just being able to contribute and contribute fairly as well, right? Those are type of topics. If you feel like things aren't being fair in how you're contributing, have a healthy discussion if you can. If you can. I know I get it. Sometimes it's a lot. It's challenging, right? Um have a discussion about like emergency fund or like what their preferences, right? That's something you can think about. This is something I really want to do. I mean, we kind of do it, but this one would have been gold grand. Um, Creating a family support fund. Um, this way, you are reducing the pressure on a single person to create the fund. So, having a joint account, the same way that I was talking about a joint account with your partner, having one with the family, um, and having like small monthly contributions from multiple members, a shared emergency account, clear rules on what these funds are used for. This turns support into a system and not a burden. So I really think, having that plan, whether it's a savings account, whether it's an investing account, I really want to do an investment club within the family. Um, and it just didn't work out. But however, I want to say this: just because if this is something that you can't relate, like, oh, there ain't no way my family and I are going to be able to do this. Choose your chosen family, right? It doesn't always have to be your blood family. It can be the ones that you chose to be close to you to do this, so you guys can have you know a sustainable lifestyle overall. But this also ran a contract too. I'm not telling you to do this all without contracts. Mm-mm. No, no, no. Ba-da-dum bump. Right. Solution number 3. Define roles and capacity. Um, and this comes with having healthy conversations. Not everyone contributes the same way. Someone might contribute to money, some contribute time, some provide childcare, some provide housing temporarily. Support does not have to be financial by any means necessary. Maybe there's someone that does the cooking and cleaning or vice versa and all that stuff. Um, just have that healthy conversation though. If it's possible, right? To the parents, I'm talking to you again. Create open conversations about money with your children, whether they're child, teens, adult. Transparency builds trust and prepares them for adulthood. Shutting them out, or um, it doesn't teach them anything. I can honestly say there was a point in time where I was like, "Damn, I wish I'd known this a little bit earlier." Because then I would have a better head start. But at the same time, I understand parents. You don't know what you don't know, right? So I have to be mindful about that. To the adult children, offer support within your capacity. Um, not beyond it. Not beyond it. Your role is to contribute and not to collapse. And this is something that I remember. One thing, I had no issue with paying certain bills and stuff. I wish I had had it at a higher amount so that I was able to manage because expense tripling makes life really tricky, and I'll just say that I have no shame in my game to admit that that was probably one of the hardest things, is ready to step up and swing the bat, but realizing that that shit was going to be a heavy ball to hit. Couldn't get no home runs each and every time and stuff, right? So that's something I want the adult children to know, and even the um teenagers as well. Into overall families, shared responsibility prevents silent resentment, and it's just systems that protect relationships or the family and the stress level, right? Because when ooh, that's a different part. Because at the same time, when family doesn't feel safe, this is when your chosen family steps into play. This is I had to big up a lot of people that are in my corner that help me, whether it's mentors, friends, second family and stuff. I am so blessed. Um, Even though this could be uncomfortable, but meh, you know, not every family dynamic is healthy, and I have do understand that, and I don't want to sugarcoat that because I'm pretty sure there's someone going to be in this chat or listening in the replay and say, "Cam, my relationship with my family is trash." See, I'm doing really well not swearing. It's trash. Not every relationship is safe, and not every bond is meant to last. However, despite love, history, and shared blood, the healthiest thing you can do is create distance. So that's like a harsh or hard reality or something hard to chew. It's okay. It is okay if you have to create a distance just to feel more alive, one, stable. By all means, some people build stability not with family that they're born with, but with the family they choose, and that's okay. So like I said, close friends, mentors, community members, partners, support networks. Those people that you choose to be your support system, support team is the most important people in your life, because those are the ones that give you that second wind of life when you feel like everything is just like falling apart. And if it sounds like I'm being emotional, I'm not. I'm actually getting hungry. The hungry cam is not the same as the hyper cam, right? Man, I don't even know what I want. I feel like that's a lie. I do remember what I wanted. I hope I can get it this week, because yo, and I know I just tried March 1st. I need to cancel Uber Eats. Cancel Uber Eats or minimize Uber Eats, because I might do the grocery store thing, which sucks ass. Looking at you. Whoever gave me raspberries instead of strawberries, I hope you buck your pinky toe in the wall. I said it, yes. Sorry. Sorry, my stomach starts speaking to me. So these are the people that who respect your boundaries. Well, most of them, not all of them. Hey, no, regardless if they're your family or your close friends, you know those ones that really know how to get to your heart, to your soul, to piss you off. Some of them know boundaries, some of them don't, but they do celebrate your growth and support your peace. And like again, this is why I received this, Ross, is because of the chosen family that I created. So big up again. I have to praise you guys each and every second. And I don't know how I'm gonna be able to like put it somewhere where you guys will be able to see it, or I'll just keep showing it each and every week. Boom bam bam. All right. To parents. And I know this is gonna be a little bit difficult for some parents. I get it. It's okay. Um, love your children in ways that allow them to grow. I feel like millennial parents have been doing that, and I know you guys are doing the soft parenting, and sometimes the Gen baby boomers, Gen X do bleh, yuck, be tough. But you don't have to do that. Love your children in ways that they allow them to grow, not in ways that bind them to obligation. To the adult children, if protecting your mental and financial health requires distance, that is not betrayal. It's prefer. I can't say the word. Per preserver. Again, I haven't eaten, so it's. I'll say self-respect, self-prevalence, and all that good stuff. I'll say it like that. Healthy families evolve. They do not demand sacrifice as proof of love. But even unhealthy families learn to adjust or become healthy at the same time. That's what I would love for you guys. Anyone that's have in an unhealthy family dynamic, I pray that you find that chosen family that can make you feel whole again or make you feel peace, because we all need it, right? We all need it. Blood makes you related. Respect makes you family. Boom, bam, bam. Bars. Bars. And as I wrap up, because I am hungry and I want to get some food, even though it might take a minute to reach, it might take a minute, but I saw it go. I just want to remind you guys as we wrap up. Make sure you do the poll, please and thank you. If this episode resonated with you, you're not alone. Even though I am not talking about personal things that have happened to me, there's some things that I spoke about that is relatable, but you are not alone. You can love your family deeply, deeply and still protect your peace and your future. You definitely could do that, right? You're not the family ATM. You don't have to be the safety net or insurance. You can do it. You could do it together with them. You're never meant to be the family ATM. You're meant to be part of the safety net, not the entire system, right? You're a whole person with dreams, responsibilities, and life to build. And if your journey um, if your journey includes redefining what family looks like, you're not alone. Again, if you want that peace, um, family is not just who you were born into or born to, sorry. It's who supports your growth, respects your boundaries, and protects your peace. Really and truly, or the ones that even even though they see you as still that little child when you were 6 or 7, um, no better feeling is when they actually identify you as an adult or a human being. I did get that blessing with my mom that she saw me as a beautiful woman. So I cherish that phrase every step of the way. Oh, I am not gonna cry, but at the same time, I miss her dearly. And I know there's other people that can relate with that, so you're not alone. Um, yeah, just the family that you have, try to have a healthy relationship with them as much as possible. If you can't, just learn to build that community, that tribe, that friendship, that support system that will help you grow, will help you evolve, and help you create peace. And yeah, sorry, I didn't think I was gonna get emotional. It must be the food too, because next week I'm gonna make sure next week is gonna be sweet up. For anyone that wants to join in the chat, you guys are free to join in the chat. If there's anyone that could relate, just put something in the chat. Make sure you. Oh, where is it? All this time, you guys didn't have the light. Sock lubla. Oh, I snaked you guys today. I am so sorry. Why did I do that? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Make sure you comment, subscribe. I am so sorry, guys. But yeah, next week is a treat. Um, we're gonna be talking about dating, debt, and financial deal breakers. So for folks that have been married, separated, divorced, or was engaged but didn't become engaged and all that stuff. I want y'all to come true and speak some volumes. If you don't want to talk about your personal life, of course you don't have to. You just, talk about things that can relate and things, but ooh, it's gonna be juicy and good. Like I really enjoy doing this segment talking about like different aspects of love or family. So I really appreciate you guys. Again, tax season's coming up. I will put the questionnaire in the chat. Hold on. I should have done that from before. And I'm really because I want to have not my English is not Englishing today, guys. I don't want problems. I want peace this tax season. So I'm really busting my ass throughout the night to make sure I plan it seamlessly. Ooh, there's also, sorry, I just saw something that reminded me. Let me show you guys this before I leave because my beautiful face is showing in it. Blup, 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 blup. Give me 2 seconds, guys. There's 2 things I want to do. I want to show. There it is. So there's 2 things, and I know it works because I seen it. I seen someone already posting it. So big up yourself. Oh dear. Wow. Not my email snaking me. Ooh, you little bugger. Okay, so it should work here. Oh my gosh. Is that gonna work? I'm gonna say it working because that will piss me off. Give me a second. I know how to get to it. I seen someone post. I seen someone reply. So I'm gonna quickly go to it. And you're the real MVP for the first person. Oh look! Oh shucks! People are writing in the post. Oh my god. It's never a dull day when it comes to me, right? I always do this with you guys. Always. It's because I thought about it last minute. Instead of talking about it earlier. Ooh. While I'm trying to do that, I'm going to share my screen for something else because in March it's going to be the ACBN symposium thing day. Right? I can't remember the last time I didn't go. That's like my one yearly trek to Mississauga without complaining. Because any other time, y'all know me, I like to stay in the east. And these days I've been far east as well. So like going west and east, headache, 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 headache. Oh man, give me 1 second. I'm trying to make one of them's going to be more difficult than the other because I don't know why it just logs me out. I remember the days when Outlook would not log out or Microsoft would log out for me. So if anyone knows why it's doing that, please help a sister out because I am not tech savvy. This millennial feels like a baby boomer when it comes to certain technology. Hands down. Ooh, okay. 1 spot is coming. 2 spots are coming. Well, that's interesting because the one place that I want is there too. Oh my gosh. 2 seconds. I promise I am not doing this on purpose because I actually want to show you guys a questionnaire. Because at least if you start with the questionnaire, it'll make our lives easier. Our lives, my lives, both of our lives easier. Wow, Microsoft is really snaking me right now. Snaking me, snaking me. Dang, how do I see stuff? Obviously, after I read, I am going to spend some time getting to learn my computer a little bit more. That's probably the issue. I have a new computer and I'm just still learning it, and I need 2 screens again. Now I'm just talking for the sake of talking. But I'm glad you guys are still here. Who's this in my comments? Oh, that's me. There it is. Shakalaka. Okay, boom. I wonder why it's like that. Got it. Collect responses. Copy. Okay, so we're copying. So we copied it. Okay. So now let's post it here. Sheesh. Oh, okay, boom, bam, bam. There we go. Ooh. QR code? Shut the front door. Oh, snap. Okay, I'm gonna download it and then I'll send it next time. I'm not going to taunt you guys with that. I'm so excited, guys. So excited. Holy smackaroo. Oh, maybe I can add it to here. Hold on. I'm telling you guys, when it comes to this QR code. So there is a QR code here. I don't think it's that. I can't create it like that. Oh man, this is treacherous. We'll figure it out next time, guys. I don't wanna do the most. But as I was saying, ACBN symposium is in March 21st. I think it's 21st. And look at my pretty self. You're gonna see me in 2 seconds. If you see how it's logging and doing the most, that's why I have so many things open and I just gotta make sure. Golly. Remember I'm trying to do a couple things all at the same time. I should pin it. Next time I'll pin it so I can show you guys. There it is. Boom shakalaka. Boom shakalaka. All right. Let me show you. Thank you for your patience, guys, because you know me. I'm woo! Look upon me. So this is March 21st. Anyone that lives in the West, so Mississauga, Etobicoke, I feel it's like the West, Milton and all that stuff, come true. You'll see me there. Sheridan College, and I'm hoping to find a intern this time. This time I'm going to find an intern. That is one of my goals. My goal is to get an intern this year. So if anybody wants to help me get an intern, feel free. Ooh, you know what? Send me an email. If you have interns, VAs, any suggestion, anything will help me. I just want to be less stressful. All right. But yeah, next week we are going to be talking about dating, debt, and financial deal breakers. I was asked a question the other day if breakfast date is a no-go, since I've always said I don't consider coffee dates date to hang out, but that's just me. So we'll talk about it next week. All right, go, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a blast. Choose your family wisely. And you know what I mean when I say that? It's not your blood family, it's a family that you chose afterward that is on this journey with you. Peace and love, and say someone big up you guys again for helping me become the winner for People's Choice with Buy Blacks. All right.
I just wanna be free with my people to prosper and hold it down. Don't you sit and wait, contemplating on a revolution. The time is now. I just wanna be free. I just wanna be free.